Bruno's 4K magic, he wears a magic hat, he couldn't say for Arsenal, but he has said fuck that.
Arsenal have been defeated for the first time in the league this season, with Mikel Arteta left fuming.
Well, praising my players for the performance and the way we played, and we didn't deserve to lose the match playing in the run, and then we didn't lose the match because of the clear and obvious decisions. It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is, a disgrace.
Will you be taking this up with PGMOL?
Yeah, we've been taking it for many months. There's so much at stake. We put so many hours. I'm here to represent the football club and to get my team to compete at the highest level. The margin is so small. It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing. That's how I feel.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
This game was controversial, so from the VR exclusive to Eddie Howe's secret tactics, to a recent interview from Dan Ashworth, Newcastle's director of football, confirming the club plans to be active in the upcoming January transfer window, to Newcastle initiating contact with brains behind Tottenham's £1.2 billion stadium over St James's Park redevelopment. As per, let's break it all down and discuss the 5 things we learned from Newcastle United 1 Arsenal 0.
Let's go.
Starting off with Eddie Howe's tactical masterclass against Arsenal exposed their weaknesses in providing support to their wingers, particularly Saka. Newcastle effectively doubled and tripled up on his side, overwhelming him due to the lack of assistance from Arsenal. This imbalance was further highlighted by the team's over-reliance on attacking from the right side, lacking variation in their approach. The absence of Odegaard in the midfield only exacerbated the situation, and Eddie Howe was able to brilliantly pounce on this and neutralize the right wing. On the left side, Dan Burn was withdrawn at the break after picking up a knock in the first half. Tino Livramento was chosen to replace him, instead of Hall. This was because of Livramento's ability in one-on-one defending. Livramento's talent and abilities were truly impressive. His defensive capabilities were noteworthy, as he excelled in one-on-one situations, consistently demonstrating his proficiency in shutting down opponents. His pocketing of talented players like Garnacho, Grealish, and now Martinelli highlighted his defensive prowess. His ability to neutralize top-quality attackers spoke volumes about his defensive skills and his potential to become one of the best in the world. At just 20 years old, he displayed a level of maturity and skill that exceeds his age. His performance on the pitch was reminiscent of a seasoned professional, playing with the composure and understanding of someone far more experienced. Given his immense potential, it is not unreasonable to consider Livramento as a potential candidate to become one of the best fullbacks in the world within the next 2-3 years. It was also a solid, continued evolutionary performance from Kieran Trippier, who was put in left T back by Howe after the first half. As Roberto Carlos said, "We can see an evolution in the role of full-backs, and I was particularly impressed with Trippier as he was able to play on the left-hand side for the England national team. I wouldn't have been able to play on the right of defense, but in modern football, you need to play on both sides. He has an amazing personality and is very good." It was also a clever bit of game management from Eddie Howe late in the game to move Joelinton to the right wing to help deal with the direct route to Havertz. And with that, it was another stellar performance for Joelinton, with a 78% pass accuracy, 4 ball recoveries, 3 ground duels won, 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, 2 tackles won, 2 key passes, and 1 assist.
Very important. Arsenal is a very good team. We knew it would be a difficult game, and we had to take our chance. And we take well and we defend well. And it's so important for us to keep clean sheets, because then we have more chance to win. And today we show that the team is focused and everyone together, and show really strong mentality to win this game.
It was quite a fiery contest, lots of challenges going in here and there. How much character and fight did the team need to show, particularly at the end, to dig in deep and get maximum points?
We have been shown the character of season. Last season, I think everyone is the same pace. Everyone wants the same the togetherness of the team, everyone fight for everyone, and with the crowd at the home, just give a extra mile to the team to go and push hard. And today we push hard to the end to get the 3 points, but it's so important for us.
Eddie Howe showed that he is an elite in-game manager and now one of the best defensive coaches in the world. A coach who's improved immensely over the years. Moving on, Gordon showcased his versatility and ability to make a significant impact. With Callum Wilson's playing time being managed due to a demanding run of fixtures and Alexander Isak sidelined, Eddie Howe, the manager, made the decision to deploy Gordon in a different role. Gordon was moved to the striker position, a position he had excelled in during the UEFA European Under-21 Championship over the summer, where he was named the tournament's best player. Gordon embraced his new role and made valuable contributions to the team. His well-timed runs into space created opportunities for midfielders Sean Longstaff and substitute Joe Willock to exploit the gaps left by the opposition defense. Despite not being a natural striker, Gordon convincingly fulfilled the role and displayed his adaptability. In the 64th minute of the match, after Willock managed to keep the ball in play, Gordon positioned himself in a pocket of space. He capitalized on Joelinton's failed attempt and outmuscled goalkeeper Raya to emphatically score. The goal went through multiple VAR checks, but eventually stood, giving Gordon his well-deserved moment of glory. Against Arsenal, Gordon had an 83% pass accuracy, 4 ground duels won, 2 shots, and 1 goal. And with that goal, Anthony Gordon has scored 5 goals in his last 11 games in the Premier League, as many goals as he scored in his previous 51 appearances.
Speak to the man who scored it, Anthony Gordon. Very well done. Congratulations. Let's talk about the win first of all. How good does that feel, the first team to beat Arsenal this season?
Yeah, it feels amazing. A big win at home, but like you said, especially against Arsenal, they're a massive team. Unbeaten this year and they've been really good, so it's good to get that win.
Now, are we calling the manager a tactical genius tonight? Because we understand 54 seconds after you went into that central role, the ball dropped in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's all down to the manager. We've been having some jokes about it in the changing rooms and stuff, so yeah, that's down to him for putting me there.
How comfortable, Anthony, are you playing centre forward? I know you done for England under 20.
This year, the Premier League's so difficult, so any win is really important, but especially against the top teams in the league, they're vital this year, and we performed really well. I thought it was a really good game, and yeah, either of us could have won it, and luckily it was us.
Anthony, obviously your goal has won it. There is a bit of debate around it, as you probably heard us talking about that. Were you aware of that at the time, whether it might have been a foul by Joelinton, whether the ball had gone out of play?
I knew they were checking all sorts of things. I wasn't too sure what they were checking. I was just hoping I hadn't celebrated and had to take it back. So when he pointed to the halfway line, I was over the moon. And
finally, talking of celebrating, the scenes again at the end with those supporters. 4 consecutive Premier League wins, 4 consecutive home Premier League clean sheets as well. What's it like up there on Tyneside at the moment, playing in that cathedral of noise?
I think people are going to get sick of me saying it, but I think you can see, you can hear it probably on the TV. It's so loud in this place, and it's become a fortress for us. And we know teams coming here, they're not really going to want to come and play it. It's an amazing ground with amazing fans, some best fans in Europe for me. And yeah, we play good football here, so we're loving every home game.
Well done today. Talking to Europe, good luck on Tuesday as well.
Well done, Anthony. Well done, mate.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Dad.
Hi, guys. What a game. So happy to get the 3 points. But your atmosphere tonight was incredible, so thank you very much. Come on, you Max.
Then, Jamal Lascelles delivered an absolutely exceptional performance that stood out on the night. His display was nothing short of immense, demonstrating his dominance in every aspect of the game. He won every duel he faced, showcasing his strength and determination. Lascelles' comeback after a period of absence epitomizes the spirit and character of the club. His resilience and determination to return to action and make a meaningful impact reflect the values and ethos of Newcastle. To be honest, Botman hasn't been missed, and that's a huge compliment. And it's not a surprise that Lascelles was the official man of the match with a match rating of 7.6. While Bruno's passion on the night received plenty of praise, I personally have a different perspective. I believe his emotions got the better of him and crossed the line. On another day, his behavior could have resulted in a red card, which would have caused him to miss the next game. Considering the team's existing injuries, this was far from ideal. It's important for Bruno to channel his emotions in a less risky manner moving forward. However, hear me out. Do you not think he wanted to get booked? Which game would you prefer he missed? Bournemouth next, or Chelsea or Manchester United after? With the result, Arsenal have failed to score in all competitions for the first time this season, 17th game. Newcastle were also the first team to stop the Gunners from scoring in the Premier League last term, 0-0 in January.
What feels like a really big win? How would you sum it up?
Yeah, tough game. Really tough game, but massive win. Full credit to the players for what they gave today. I thought that was a really battling performance. I thought Arsenal were good. I thought we were good, but maybe not in the ways that we're both known. It was sort of a real midfield scrap. A lot of physicality, a lot of duels, and thankfully we came out on top.
What was key to it, do you think, for you? And what were you concerned about before the game?
Well, I think just the way we defended generally. I thought our open play shape defensively was very good. I think it has to be against a team as good as Arsenal. They've got obvious attacking threats. I thought we nullified them. We didn't really give them many clear-cut chances today. And then I always felt we were in the game the other way. I think we have players that can hurt teams as well in different ways. And we've had to stay in the game. We did. And then we got the goal.
Eddie, I mentioned that I felt the game was almost like a throwback. Lots of challenges, not the football that you normally associate with, the modern game, as people like to say. I mean, what do you think the reason was that, for yourselves and Arsenal?
Yes, maybe not the game we expected it to be, in terms of the style from both teams. But I think it was clear early in the game that that's how it was going to be. So as you say, a lot of, like I said earlier, a lot of duels, like the midfield battle was so important. We had to try and stay in the game in that way. And I thought Joelinton was huge in there for us. I thought all three midfielders really helped us. And when you don't concede, you're always in a game. So I don't think it's probably the style that either team really wanted. It wasn't the game that maybe we prepared for. But then you need to show different sides of your game to win. And I think we've got that in the group at the moment.
Eddie, the match winner, Anthony Gordon's been outstanding this season. And I think it's fair to say he took a little bit of time to settle last season when he joined halfway through the season. What's been the big difference with him this season?
Well, I think he's got used to what's expected of him. I think he had a sort of a sight of that at the end of last season, 4 or 5 months under us, and what we expect him to do. I think he came back a lot fitter from the Euros. That was a really successful campaign for him. I think that helped boost his confidence, and as you say, this season I think he's been brilliant for us. And I think again today he showed his versatility. So he started wide left, he then went up front, and that's where he got the goal.
Eddie, your players seem to celebrate tackles as much as they celebrate goals. How much pleasure does that give you to see as a manager?
Well, I think that's just a marker of our mentality at the moment and our willingness to do everything we can to try and win. So there was a really good feeling in the stadium. The crowd were responding to our out-of-possession work, and the players in tune were realising how important every duel was, every tackle was. And as I said earlier, you don't win these games unless you compete. You have to compete against Arsenal's technical players and try and take their game away from them, and they were trying to take our game away from us, and that's what made it the game that it was. But I'm just really, really proud because we're stretched at the moment. We've got injuries, but the players stepped up and gave even more.
You certainly are. And you're fighting on 3 fronts right now, the FA Cup to throw in after Christmas as well, Eddie. Does it surprise you, or does this group continue to surprise you about the levels they are able to reach in so many games?
I don't think it surprises me because I see the character and the mentality and the attitude that they display on a daily basis. I think we've got that consistency within the group. We've got a very level-headed group of players who are committed and want to give everything to try and be successful. Now, the injury situation is a big concern for us. It's a worry. We are competing on lots of fronts, and those games are, at the moment, we seem to be losing a player a game, which, ultimately is probably the big negative from today. But then we need everyone else who is fit and available to step up and give more, and at the moment we're getting that. So we'll let the dust settle on today's game and see what we've got for Dortmund.
Let me just ask you, Eddie, about a couple of incidents. The Newcastle bench seemed very upset by Kai Havertz's challenge in the first half. Can you tell us more on that?
Yeah, well, we were close to the incident. I felt it was high and potentially dangerous, but I've only seen that with my naked eye. You might tell me differently. Everything looks different with in slow motion. So that was my initial thought. Thought he was probably lucky to get a yellow on that in that situation. And I know there was a lot of yellow cards given in the game. I probably didn't think there had to be. I don't think it was necessarily a dirty game, but there were a few flashpoints.
There was a high arm from Bruno as well just before half-time. He seemed to be getting a little heated. Did you have to try and calm him at all during the interval?
Well, I think one of the big messages at half-time was we need to keep 11 players on the pitch, but not lose our fighting spirit and our desire in those key moments. So it's always a balance, but I thought we kept our heads really well in the game.
And the goal itself, it took 4 minutes and 6 seconds for VAR to check multiple incidents. I'm told that Mikel Arteta, who we haven't actually heard from yet, but I'm told he has said that he thinks it's a disgrace and it's embarrassing that goal was given. I'm sure you have a different perspective on it. Just give us your overall feelings on that period.
Well, we're in the dark, really. You know, we're sort of stood by the side of the pitch, seeing the VAR come up on the screen, but not really, having no pictures. So I'm not avoiding the question, but I haven't seen anything other than the long-term vision that I had at the time, and it looked a good goal. But obviously, everyone else will have a different opinion to me.
And so it's counting the bodies for Wednesday.
Something like that. It's bizarre. I've never sort of been in this situation before, where Dan Burns landed on his back today, and he's in a lot of pain in the dressing room. So we don't know how bad that is. But every player at the moment is so important. And look, we go on to the next game. We're not going to make excuses for ourselves, but it's a difficult moment.
We wish you well, Eddie. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Then in other Newcastle news, in a recent interview, Dan Ashworth, Newcastle's director of football, confirmed that the club plans to be active in the upcoming January transfer window. Their immediate priority is finding a replacement for Sandro Tonali, who is currently serving a 10-month ban due to multiple breaches of gambling rules during his time at Brescia and AC Milan. Tonali, a significant signing for Newcastle at £53 million, will be unavailable for the rest of the season. Aware of the need to strengthen their squad for the second half of the season, Newcastle sees loan moves for players from Saudi Pro League clubs as an attractive option. 4 prominent clubs in the Saudi League, including Al Nasser and Al Ahly, are owned by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, which also holds an 80% controlling stake in Newcastle. Players like Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, Aymeric Laporte, Alexander Mitrovic, and Gabri Veiga are currently playing in the Saudi League. While theoretically moves for superstars like Cristiano Ronaldo or Karim Benzema are possible, it is believed that they may not align with manager Eddie Howe's plans or style of play. However, Ruben Neves has emerged as a strong target for Newcastle, as well as Manchester City midfielder Calvin Phillips, according to Telegraph Sport. Neves, who left Wolverhampton Wanderers in a £50 million deal, is reportedly eager to return to the Premier League after struggling to settle at his new club, Al Hilal. Ashworth acknowledged that any business between Newcastle and Saudi clubs would face criticism and scrutiny, but stated that there are currently no barriers preventing such signings, unless the Premier League changes its rules before the January window opens. Ashworth emphasized the importance of ensuring fair market value and covering an acceptable percentage of wages when signing players. Newcastle aims to adhere to profit and sustainability rules, formerly known as financial fair play. While they have some flexibility in their financial planning, they will explore various options to strengthen the squad, whether through straight loans, loans with obligations or options, or creative arrangements. So as the January transfer window approaches, Newcastle's pursuit of Ruben Neves and their strategic approach to strengthening the squad will undoubtedly be closely monitored by fans and critics alike. While in response to inquiries regarding Sandro Tonali's situation, Dan Ashworth, the director of football at Newcastle United, confirmed that the club has fully cooperated with the Football Association, FA, and other relevant organizations regarding the investigation into Tonali's potential breaches of gambling rules during his time in England. Ashworth stated that the FA, who imposed the initial ban on Tonali, is fully aware of the ongoing situation and Newcastle has provided their full cooperation to all concerned parties. When asked about the possibility of the FA imposing further sanctions on Tonali, Ashworth maintained that he can only address the present circumstances and the facts available. He could not speculate on potential future actions by the FA. Regarding any potential recourse with AC Milan and the prospect of reclaiming money, Ashworth confirmed that Newcastle is conducting its own investigation into the matter. He acknowledged the difficulty in commenting on what other clubs may or may not have known about Tonali's addiction prior to his transfer. The focus remains on Newcastle's internal investigation and processes. While it is understood that Tonali has agreed to a reduction in wages during the length of his ban, Ashworth did not confirm this arrangement, citing the confidentiality of players' contract situations. However, he praised Tonali for his outstanding professionalism and collaboration since the incident came to light. AC Milan, on the other hand, has refuted claims that they were aware of Tonali's addiction before selling him to Newcastle. In a statement to Craig Hope of the Daily Mail, they stated that they first learned about Tonali's addiction through media reports and have no additional knowledge beyond what has been publicly disclosed. Then, Newcastle United has reached out to renowned architects Populous, the brains behind Tottenham Hotspur's impressive £1.2 billion stadium, for advice on the redevelopment of St. James's Park. The club aims to expand its capacity beyond 60,000 and enhance corporate and conference facilities to boost non-match day revenue. Populous, having previously collaborated with the Public Investment Fund on projects in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, has expressed keen interest in participating in the project. While no final decisions or appointments have been made, Populous's extensive portfolio, including iconic venues like the Emirates, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Millennium Stadium, positions them as strong contenders to lead the redesign once the green light is given.